Welcome to the Tuscarawas County Anti-Drug Coalition podcast, bringing you open and honest conversations about resources in Tuscarawas County. Now here's your host, Jody Salvo.
Hi, this is Jody Salvo, and welcome to the Tuscarawas County Anti-Drug Coalition podcast. Today on our show, I'm joined with three high school seniors, Mia Cadle from Newcomerstown, Becca Shultz from Strasburg, and Jake Miller from Tuscarawas Central Catholic. Our students will be speaking with us today on how COVID-19 has impacted the graduating class of 2020. First, welcome guys. I'm so glad you're here. And let's just get started this way. How about we'll go around the table, tell me a little bit who you are, maybe some activities, some things that you were doing in school, and then let's kind of finish with after graduation, what are your next steps?
All right. Hello, my name's Jake Miller. Thank you for having me, first of all.
Awesome.
And, I played football, basketball, and I played baseball. And I'm planning on attending Bowling Green State University after high school.
Cool. Thanks, Jake.
Hi, I'm Becca Shultz. I ran cross country while in high school, and I was a part of YAB. And I want to go to Slippery Rock University after high school.
Becca, I'm going to interrupt you. Our listeners might not know what YAB is. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Well, YAB is a county coalition with a group of youth from all over the county who really help with bringing prevention methods to the schools, to parents, county representatives, and things like that.
I just had to throw that in there because the Youth Advisory Board is part of the Tuscarawas County Anti-Drug Coalition. That's one of the reasons Becca's at the table today, too, because she's just been an amazing student, a student leader. So I'm kind of biased of just the program she's kind of been committed to over the last couple of years. Okay, next.
Hi, I'm Mia Cadle. I'm a senior at Newcomerstown High School, and I was in marching band and Big Brothers Big Sisters and Youth to Youth, and I plan on attending Kent State University after high school.
Nice. What are you thinking about?
International marketing.
Awesome. Okay, great. Hey, these are amazing young students. They absolutely have been leaders in their school, and that's one of the reasons they're here today. And we just kind of want to get a student perspective of, what have you all experienced, not only during COVID-19, because I think it's ratcheted up a step more, because you guys, it's your graduating year, and I think this has really impacted students from the class of 2020. So who kind of wants to start?
Jake, you can start.
Just you miss seeing your friends every day, that, human interaction, and you miss graduation and, your last prom. And for us, we missed baseball season, but, that's just some things it's taken from us, but you can always find some good things in everything. So,
yeah. Hey, Jake, you said miss seeing your friends. Did you ever think the day they kind of shut down school that you wouldn't have gone back?
So actually, one of my friends came up and told me, dude, this might be your last day of high school. I was like, no, we're going to come back. Ended up not happening, and, the best way to do it is just text them now and see how they're doing. So
yeah, that's crazy. Becca, how about you?
I think I really missed out on, like Jake said, the last day of school, because I think, as a full-time CCP student, they kind of sent us the email while we were out of school, and they were like, oh, you're going to come back on, the 15th of April. And then, 2 days later, they were like, nope, you're not coming back at all. I think that was, the hardest part, not having that final day to be like, oh, we're done.
Yeah, seriously. I think as adults, we've all experienced loss. Things have just dramatically changed in the last couple of weeks. But I think we might forget as an adult, man, you guys have gone to school for 12 years. And I'm looking at all three of y'all, all go to small districts. So I think that even makes it a little bit more, it could potentially make it more difficult because the kids in your class, you probably went to preschool, kindergarten with, and you're probably family, and oh my goodness, you don't even have that opportunity to have any closure there. How about Mia?
I didn't think I would really miss that much when I left, because I was like everyone else. I thought I was going to come back.
Yeah.
So when all of a sudden all of this daily interaction that I make with people is gone, it's just not the same to text people, even though that's the best way we can do it. You miss that person-to-person relationships and talking and different things like that. So that kind of sucks.
Yeah, seriously. So how did you find actual education last couple months? Because I don't know about y'all. I remember having senioritis like when I was your age.
It hit us, don't worry.
Yeah.
But we just been doing a lot of online classes, a lot of emails, and a lot of Zoom meetings. You know, at TCC, our teachers have been great. You know, they're always checking in on us, so it means a lot.
Cool. We had teachers in here a couple weeks ago, and it was really fun to listen to the teacher perspective because, man, they missed you guys. Like, like you could just hear their pain in their voice, you know, just wanting to be able to connect with y'all. And I think they do connect with y'all, but it's a very different way. So, class stopped abruptly. You seeing your friends, or what's that like?
I don't really see my friends that much. I've been really focused on finishing up my classes because I had really hard classes this semester that didn't transfer over well as online, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it's just been like school and finishing up like the last steps of high school.
Crazy. Mia, how about you?
I've seen a couple of my friends. So in Newcomerstown, it's kind of just been like business as usual.
Okay.
We're kind of like a rural town. We're kind of far away from everything. We've only had a couple of cases, and all of them have made full recoveries. And so it's kind of just not a big deal in Newcomerstown. And so I've made a point to only see those I've seen since the beginning of quarantine and not really introducing myself to any new people. But yeah, I've definitely seen people.
Okay, very good. Now, how have you guys dealt with some of these losses? I mean, have you had to process some of this, or?
You know, just talking with my parents, talking with my family, you know, talking to the teachers, because they, for as hard as it is for us students, it's also hard for the teachers. They have to do a lot of stuff for getting their class plans ready, and they're always there, and that's the best thing about TCC. We're a big family over there.
That's cool. Very fun.
Yeah, I think I just tried to like be like, this isn't happening. Like, it's fine. I'm okay. But like, I've had a couple days where I've just like, it's hit me like, all this stuff is like being canceled or things. And I've like legit cried like several days. Just like, this is not ideal.
Yeah. I feel your pain because I've had some meltdown days that kind of catch me by surprise. Like, because I kind of feel like life is normal. And then every once in a while, I'm like, why am I feeling like this? And then you realize, you know, all these things in your life just aren't normal right now. So I can't imagine in the midst of being a teenager when, I mean, your phase of life is meant to be connected. You know what I mean? So I'm sure that even looks a little bit different. Okay. Do you have any friends that have been struggling, maybe engaging in unhealthy ways to deal with this? We are with the Anti-Drug Coalition, so I only throw that out there because I know substance use is certainly a way some people kind of escape and deal with stuff. Or, you know, we have seen in a county perspective increase in suicide attempt, mental health, stuff like that. And that's from an adult perspective. Do you guys know of any of that kind of, you know, maybe unhealthy coping techniques, strategies that might be going on with peers? Or
I think I see it a little bit because I am on a college campus a lot, and I follow a lot of people from the campus. I see a lot of excessive drinking happening right now, adults, but I think it's everyone's home. They have nothing to do, and I think it's just hard to find a balance of, you know, I'm home all day. What am I supposed to do? Especially I feel bad for people who have addiction problems right now. I mean, getting out in society is something that really helps them to cope, and they don't have that anymore. So,
yeah. Thanks for bringing that up, Becca. Mia, how about you?
I really haven't noticed it that much in Newcomerstown. But granted, I don't really look for it in Newcomerstown,
Yeah.
maybe that's why.
I look at you, Mia, because I know your school program has really kind of tackled mental health down at your district. And that's one of those issues that you as a student body and student leaders have been mindful of, that, mental health issues are real, and kids struggle with the stress of life and life situations. So not really.
Not in that sense, I guess. But I will say a lot of our students, we might not all interact with each other all the time, but the people we do interact with, we interact with a lot. And so making sure we're reaching out to each other and keeping that stuff and maintaining it as best as we possibly can, I think that's something we've all really been able to do really well throughout this whole process.
Cool. Very good. Let me ask you, in the midst of this crisis that we're having now, is it impacting your next step, like summer jobs or college in the fall, or are there impacts to that or stress that's kind of hitting y'all around those areas?
It has my concerns about going to college, if I'm going to be able to get that on-campus experience, or if I'm going to be back home still doing online classes. So, that's something I'm thinking about right now, and hopefully this will all be resolved by the time we go into the fall. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Now, you said Bowling Green. That's a bigger university. Have they been saying anything yet, or?
They sent me an email the other day, and they said they want to resume in-person teaching. But, that's a long ways away right now, so we don't know what's going to happen yet.
Okay. Now, y'all experienced online education. How do you think that would go on a college campus? Becca, I know you've kind of experienced this year.
It's not ideal.
Yeah, I don't think it would go very well for me. I'm really bad at math, so I can't do it on my own. So pre-calc has been a struggle, and I'm just in pre-calc, which means like next year is calculus. So I don't know how well that would go for me online.
You might need to find a good online tutor, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have two sons that are in college, and I know they found it a little stressful, the online classes, and not the ideal learning situation at all times. Okay. Let me ask you, how do you feel your parents have done supporting you through this? What they've done well, maybe what they're not understanding. And I ask this question. We have adult listeners that are on our podcast. And honestly, if you're on our podcast, you're trying to just do life well or better, or, how do we better support our kids in our community? So I think it's helpful for us to hear from you guys. What you need, what you want, what we could do better.
For me, my parents have been great. They've been telling me to talk to them every day, and they're always there. And for parents and adults, any advice I can give them is just, if your kid wants to talk about it, just listen. Just be out there and let them know that there is someone that's going to listen to them. So
cool, very good.
My parents have been really great as well. I think the most important thing that they've done for me is just listening, like Jake said, not telling me that it's going to be okay, because I don't feel like it's going to be okay. Just listening to me and validating my concerns.
Good advice.
Don't just talk to us about school. I don't just want to talk about school or COVID-19. If there's other things we can talk about. Let's talk about the weather, even though it's been kind of okay, I guess. But no, my parents have been really great throughout the whole situation. They haven't really been one of those people who are we're barricading ourselves indoors. We're not going anywhere. We're not doing anything. My parents have been just be cautious. Make sure you wash your hands. Here's hand sanitizer. Carry that with you at all times.
That's fun.
Yeah, so I definitely think my parents have handled it really well.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up, because some of the work that my department does, I work for the prevention department at Ohio Guidestone, is just helping parents and community members navigate through the situation. And I think one thing that's really interesting, who has spent more time with their family than they have since they were little kids? Yeah.
That would be me.
Jake's raising his hand. Have you guys spent a lot more time at home?
Yeah, quite a bit. I've spent more time with my sister than I have probably in years.
Okay.
So. Yeah, I agree with my sister. My parents are both working.
Okay.
But my sister, it's been really nice because I'm supposedly leaving in the fall. It's nice to have that extra time with her.
Well, I'm just going to throw this out from a young person's challenge. I think we've all kind of lost a little bit of ability to connect in the home over the years. And I'm looking at you all. I know you're busy people. I know you're probably very busy in normal life between sports and activities and leadership stuff. But I think parents also kind of get lost in, our life becomes you go to work and then you come home and you try to feed everybody and get everybody to the next activity and go watch the sport and the programming. And we probably don't have a lot of family time where we're talking about anything other than how we're going to manage our day, who's going to be where at what time and how we're going to do it and how that last thing we did went. So I think we've lost, maybe some of us, how to have conversation.
Oh, yeah.
That's not about school or about what's right in
Right.
front of you. So I know it's been helpful just to kind of be thinking about how do you have conversations with people that aren't focused on activity. You know what I mean? So whether that's, I know at our house, we're kind of listening to family podcasts together, so we have something to talk about. Or, I heard from one of our people that we spoke to recently about listening to comedians. And after she said that, I went home and, we're just looking for comedians to listen to, just to have some central topics that we can talk about that aren't about, school and work and COVID-19. So I think that's helpful, Mia, just to kind of hear that, like, adults, we need to have other conversations or figure that one out. What other kind of advice might you have?
Even though a lot of the places are closed, we still have a lot of parks around. You can
Yep.
just still go for a walk, and I think a lot of people forget that. And they try to, self-isolate themselves,
Yeah.
which is fine. You do have to take those precautions, but don't get so wrapped up in all these precautions that you forget you can still live a life.
Awesome. Yep.
And I think social media really hurts in a lot of ways when people are just posting about a lot of the negative things of COVID. There's precautions you should be taking. There are dangers.
Yep.
But you can't just only see those. And I think
Yeah.
that's something a lot of people should try to do.
Now, you mentioned social media. Have you guys got maxed out on screen time yet?
I have not been limited. I have definitely scrolled through social media a lot in this time. And so I think an advice I have for parents is your kids might not be happy if you tell them to get off their phones, but ultimately we need off our phones. We need to go outside. We need to have interactions. So just make sure your kids aren't scrolling all day.
That's a hard one because I know as soon as I'm not a tech person. I don't even like technology, but I have found I have definitely, my screen time has increased. And once I get on, I don't stop, I go on for a long time. So are students, you okay if your parents say, hey, let's all get off our screen for a little bit?
I would say yeah.
Jake, I'm not sure on your face there.
To a point, for us now, the new norm is talking to your friends is on a screen normally.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you have to be weary of that. That's how we communicate with our friends now. So
Sure. Good point.
But yeah, I do agree. I've definitely been on my phone way too much lately. So.
Yeah. Okay, so parents, I guess I'm looking around the table. Advice is don't get on your kids too much because they need to connect, and yet maybe create some space every once in a while. And I'm going to just say, from a mom of 20-year-olds, this applies to me as well. We can't ask our students to do something that we're not willing to as well. And I think even when you're pulled away, you end up benefiting from it. It's just that initial kind of break there that can be problematic. And I love the idea of get outside. Hopefully the weather will cooperate real soon here. Okay, great. Is there anything else you guys would want to add?
For future high school classes, enjoy what you got right now. You never know when it's gone. So
Has that been your lesson learned?
yeah, don't take anything for granted. Take those risks and have fun. Most importantly, enjoy who you're around.
How about you, Becca?
I would just say enjoy the moment. If I knew the last time I was going to sit at a coffee shop and have no worries about anything, I wouldn't have taken it for granted.
Oh, okay. Mia?
I kind of hated my senior year when I first started. And so now that it's basically over and it was nothing like how I thought it was going to be, I do regret that I didn't try to enjoy it more.
Okay.
So I think it's really easy to see it as really scary and really hard, but there's definitely good points, and I think I should have tried harder to look for them.
Okay. Very good. Well, guys, listen, I really want to say congrats. Like, you're done with your senior high school year. That's kind of crazy. I look forward to seeing what y'all do in the future, because the world's in front of you, and a lot of exciting things. And I appreciate you kind of saying that. Don't take things for granted, because I think it's so easy in our world. I mean, who would have ever thought we would all be stuck in our house for months on end at this point? So, just challenging everyone to get out, live life safely at this time. But I want to say congrats. Thanks for being leaders for the last how many years of your lives. You guys have done this high school thing very well, and we're looking forward to you to be future leaders, and hopefully Tuscarawas County. Y'all going to come back one day?
Yeah.
Very good. Hey, guys, I appreciate it. That's for a wrap for today, and I just want to thank you, Jake, Becca, and Mia, for coming today, and congratulations on your high school graduation. And we wish you the best as you enter into the next chapter of your life. And that's it for today's episode of Tuscarawas County Anti-Drug Coalition podcast. Thanks for listening, and see you again next week.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Tuscarawas County Anti-Drug Coalition podcast. Please follow us on Facebook and visit our website at adctusk.org.